Kenny Deery of Chief Executive of Galway Chamber. Did this come as a shock to you, Kenny?
I think the fact that it's Aer Lingus, and I take Owen's comments, but I think that came as more of a shock, because you could understand in boardrooms in the US making decisions about curtailing routes, and we saw United, after 25 years of service to Shannon, curtailing, or at least cocooning the route until next year. I think this will to many, though, in the business community and in the west of Ireland, when we're talking about that lovely term of balanced regional development that comes up so much, Keith, this is a significant blow to the west of Ireland. And I think the tourism and hospitality industry, aside from, and the business community who travel, Shannon were projecting, and from talking to the team there this morning, they were expecting 400,000 US visitors through Shannon this year. 250,000 of those, 250,000 were going to be holiday makers. That was the tour operators, that was the projections. So these are the people who come and they spend much more money than other visitors, and that's well proven over time. So the ripple effect of this is not just going to be about the airport, who have really put in huge effort and energy to try and grow routes and connectivity out of Shannon over the last couple of years, and bit by bit the announcements are not in the positive. And really, Keith, what they need, and I know Owen mentioned the tourism or the aviation task force report was issued in July, and government really have not taken the steps to implement the findings in that report. At least if that was done, it would begin to assuage some of the negative announcements that we're now seeing, and would also give some degree of hope. Like, I know no more than yourself, I'm a regular user of the services, and for business travelling, if it's this case now that if we want to get to the US from the west of Ireland, there's only one operator now looking likely for next year, and as we know, they have yet to totally state their position. We're looking at possibly having 3 connections to try to get somewhere in the US, and that's just not a sustainable situation for business, and that's not the narrative we want, because the west of Ireland is such an attractive place for businesses to invest in. So if we're looking at US companies investing in the west of Ireland, we need, and one of the questions they'll have is, what's air connectivity like? And certainly there are services, direct services out of Dublin, but we wanted those in the west, because as you know, it's a much greater and far more efficient experience coming through Shannon than it is coming through Dublin, or heaven forbid now connecting through Heathrow or Manchester or Edinburgh to get to the east coast, to then have to connect and hop on again, and without the pre-clearance and everything else. So I think this has to be the wake-up call, as Owen said. This has to be the wake-up call for government, that we need intervention now, and we need to be able to signal to the business community and to the aviation community that the Irish government is very serious about making sure that we protect regional development and jobs in the west.
All right, Kenny Deery,